These 9 submarine accidents were true disasters. Welcome to the Top Mainstream. We're back with another interesting video. Since the Second World War, the United States, Russia, and China, and a host of other nations, have lost vessels and their crews to accidents. Operating submarines is a risky business under the best of circumstances, and will likely remain so. Even the highest technological nuclear submarines can end up at the ocean floor if the crew isn't careful or the technology fails. If something fails, there's a cold, dark, and suffocating death waiting. Submarine accidents are more common than you think, given the no room for failure aspect of the profession. Here's a brief list of the world's worst submarine accidents. Let's start the video. Number 9. K-152, 2008. In 2008, the NERPA was going through its final sea trials before getting commissioned and officially joining the Russian Navy. One fateful day, a mixed crew of civilians and sailors were on board the vessel, putting the submarine through a series of tests. Suddenly, the NERPA's fire extinguishing system was activated, sealing the first 2 bow compartments, filling them with a fire-suppressant chemical, which ended up killing or injuring those who were trapped there. All in all, 20 people were killed and 41 injured. Later, an investigation revealed that someone accidentally activated the fire extinguishing system. The NERPA is now serving with the Indian Navy, having been leased to India in 2012. Number 8. ARA, San Juan, S-42, 2017. In 2017, the ARA San Juan went missing during a routine trip from one port to another. With a crew of 44, the Argentinian submarine failed to reach its destination and to establish communications. An international task force desperately tried to locate the missing vessel, but to no avail. The British, bitter rivals of the Argentinians, even sent a special unit to help in the efforts. It would take a year for the search and recovery forces to find the missing submarine at the bottom of the sea. The reasons for its sinking are still under investigation. Number 7. KOMSOMOLETS, 1989. Designed primarily as a testbed for new technologies, the 8,000-ton KOMSOMOLETS was one of the highest-performance submarines ever built. It had an operating depth greater than 3,000 feet. The submarine sank on April 7, 1989, after a fire broke out on board. The fire set off a chain of events that ultimately caused the boat to sink. Despite the heroic efforts of the crew, 42 of the 69 crew members were killed during the accident. However, only 4 people died as a direct result of the fire. The rest died from exposure. More of the crew might have been saved if the Soviet Navy had acted more quickly to mount a rescue operation. Number 6. K-8, 1970. K-8 was a Project C-27A Kit-class nuclear-powered attack submarine that sank after a fire on April 12, 1970. K-8 didn't have a name. The Soviet Union only rarely named its submarines. The submarine had originally caught fire on April 8, 1970, during an exercise in 2 separate compartments. The fire apparently started as a result of oil coming into contact with the air regeneration system. After the fire spread throughout the boat via the air conditioning system and the reactors shut down, the captain ordered the crew to abandon ship. The crew boarded the submarine again after a rescue vessel arrived, but eventually, the submarine sank in heavy seas while under tow, with 52 members of its crew. Number 5. KRI, Nanggala, 402, 2021. The Indonesian submarine went missing during a training exercise. It failed to make contact after a deep-sea dive approximately 60 miles off the coast of Bali. According to the Indonesian Navy, the submarine was scheduled to live-fire its torpedoes during the training event. First sonar and then deep-sea remotely piloted vehicles showed that the Indonesian submarine suffered catastrophic damage when firing a torpedo, breaking up in 3 parts and taking its 53-man crew to the bottom. If you find this video engaging, then do consider subscribing to our channel. We bring cool and interesting videos to engage you on a regular basis. Number 4. CHANGCHENG, 361, 2003. In 2003, a Ming-class submarine, the CHANGCHENG, went to the bottom. An engine malfunction used all the oxygen and suffocated the crew. In 2003, a fishing trawler found the Ming-class submarine sailing peacefully just above the waves, close to North Korea. The Chinese fishermen tried to make contact with the submarine, but failed. The CHANGCHENG continued to float aimlessly until other warships arrived and discovered that all of its 70 crew was dead. The Chinese Navy was unaware that the CHANGCHENG had gone missing and that there was an emergency because it was participating in an exercise that simulated realistic battlefield conditions in which subs might not surface and make comms for days or even weeks, depending on their class, for fear of being compromised. An investigation revealed that the engine had failed to shut when the submarine submerged and used all the oxygen. Number 3. USS Scorpion, SSN 589, 1969. While Russia and the Soviet Union have had their fair share of submarine disasters, the United States Navy has lost submarines too. On May 22, 1969, the USS Scorpion, a skipjack-class attack submarine, was lost with all hands, 400 miles southwest of the Azores Islands. There were 99 sailors on board. It's still a mystery as to what exactly happened to the Scorpion. The boat simply failed to return to port on May 27th that year. The Navy launched a search but eventually declared it lost on June 5th. Eventually, Scorpion was located under 10,000 feet of water by a Navy research ship later that year. Number 2. USS THRESHER, SSN 593, 1963. USS THRESHER sank on April 10, 1963 with 129 sailors on board. It was the first nuclear submarine disaster, and to this day has the highest death toll. Unlike the Scorpion, the U.S. Navy has reported exactly what caused the THRESHER to sink: poor quality control. The submarine sank while it was conducting a dive to its test depth of about 1,300 feet. A Navy court of inquiry found that a piping failure probably caused the accident. As the boat's engine room flooded as a result, saltwater spray shut down the nuclear reactor. Subsequently, THRESHER's main ballast tank failed to blow after ice formed in its piping. The crew was unable to access the equipment needed to stop the flooding. As a direct result of the THRESHER's disaster, the Navy instituted a sub-safe program to ensure that there is a thoroughly documented system of checks and rechecks on all critical components of a sub. Number 1. KURSK, K141. The KURSK is undeniably the worst submarine disaster of recent history, and indeed one of the worst submarine accidents of all time. In 2000, the Russian nuclear-powered guided missile submarine went missing during an exercise in the Barents Sea. With a crew of 118, the massive KURSK was one of the most powerful submarines in the Russian fleet. An investigation in the recovered submarine revealed that one of its torpedoes exploded while it was getting ready for launch by the KURSK crew. The explosion triggered a second, larger detonation of several nearby torpedoes. Contemporary reports state that the second explosion, which sunk the submarine, was so large that seismographic stations in Europe and Alaska picked it up. Dramatically, 23 of its crew managed to survive during both blasts and had barricaded themselves at the back of the sunk vessel. Despite frantic efforts to save them, newly elected Russian President Vladimir Putin refused international help, including from the U.S. Navy, for 5 days before eventually relenting to the domestic pressure. The crewman died. So this was the unfortunate list of the 9 worst submarine disasters in the modern history of submarines. Do share your thoughts in the comments section down below. We hope you've liked the video, and if you do, make sure you leave a like to this video and subscribe to our channel, Top Mainstream. We'll bring you another exciting video very soon. Till then, peace out.